I try to focus a lot. Last year it was really tough for me to kind of lock in on what I need to do. This year I just want to come in, lock in to the job at hand, and focus as much as possible. It's hard at times, but I hear the chants and I hear the people yelling. But when I come in here now, when I come into the Garden, it's to try to get a win against the Boston Celtics.
Well, will this ever not be home though in the end?
This place will always have a place in my heart. Always. Everybody understands when you play for a Boston team, so many teams, championship. No one in this town ever forgets that. Just like we still celebrate Larry, Kevin, those guys. When they come around here, these are our true fans. He has a chance to show these guys, what it takes to win. The habits you got to have. He's grown up before our eyes when I was here. Now he's become the leader here. And it's good for him to re-experience it on his own. The one true all-star, the veteran, the one the guys look up to for guidance. And, he's accepted that role. And, it's tough. It's a demanding role, especially in this situation where you're losing. But he's up for the task. I've had time. It's frustrating, definitely. He definitely gets frustrated. Losing's not easy. Rondo's been a part of a lot of winning teams. But, he's headstrong that, he'll fight through it.
3 in a row. Celtics win again, 101-93. We're going to break it down here. They beat Paul Pierce and the Wizards. Ever Garden. All right, let's do this thing. The Celtics, they win this game 101-93 over the Washington Wizards. Another blowout turned into another nail-biter. It was fun. We're going to talk about this one. I'm Jared Weiss. With me, as always, Jimmy Toscano and Julian Edlow.
Not always, but
almost always. And we almost always give you great analysis. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to start by talking about Paul Pierce's return. First off, Jimmy, let's talk about the emotions, which really aren't that big of a deal at this point, right? But there definitely is a lot of excitement whenever Pierce comes back.
There's always excitement. There always will be excitement when he comes back until he retires, and even when he's retired and he's just coming into the building, people are going to be excited to see him. He's earned that over his career. But that being said, it lacked some of the emotion that last year had, definitely, when Pierce came back to the video tribute and all the cheering from the crowd. It wasn't exactly to that level. And I think it was the same for Pierce. I mean, I think this game was more like business as opposed to last season's for him, where I think he got caught up in the emotions of everything. Where tonight, I think it was just like, come in here, get into the visiting locker room, put on your jersey and get to work.
Yeah, I agree. It was nothing like last year. Last year came with a lot, and it also came with Garnett.
Right.
So a little bit of a different story. But, people have gotten over the initial impact of Pierce being gone, I think. But, they'll never forget what he did here. So when he comes back, he's still going to get the standing ovations. People are still going to give him the chance.
Right.
And, that's how it should be.
And, the funny thing is he got all the love, but it came down to him getting a wide open three-pointer on the elbow with a chance to take the only lead of the game. It would have been for the Wizards.
Fittingly.
And he blew the shot.
He missed it.
I couldn't believe it.
Part of me wanted him to hit that shot. It would have been pretty sweet to have that, just for a good story, you know what I mean?
Yeah, although it's nice to not be doing another Garden report about the Celtics pull off another epic collapse.
Right.
The thing is, Pierce had a solid, well-balanced game. He had 16 points on the game. He went 3 for 6 from deep. 6 for 10 shooting. Those are pretty good numbers. Yeah. What I love though was in the second quarter, he and Rondo were covering each other. And Julian, that was a really cool matchup.
Yeah, it was cool to watch. Rondo and Pierce talked a little about how they defended each other in practice, and you can kind of guess what's coming to a degree. So it was a fun matchup, but they didn't cover each other for that long. It didn't have anything really to do with the outcome of the game, but it's definitely cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, who knows each other's games more than they do? I mean, I'm sure that had a big part in Stevens throwing Rondo on Pierce at times, just kind of knows his tendencies, as you already mentioned. So that was fun. It's cool to see. I'm sure it was a little weird for them to be, defending each other. And I bet you, I know Rondo actually, didn't he steal it from Pierce in the fourth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A huge steal.
Yeah,
huge
big steal from fourth. So I think Pierce was really kicking himself after that one, just letting the young guy get the best of him there.
And first off, thank you for just destroying that question that I gave to you. That was really
Had
funny.
nothing to do with the impact
It's like,
of
Jared,
the
you're
game.
an idiot.
But
Stop
we're
talking.
going to talk about it.
I'm going to
anyway.
keep talking anyway, though. What was amazing was on that play where he stripped Pierce, they ran like the perfect 3-man weave. They didn't even put the ball on the floor. And then there was the goaltending call, which of course was not a goaltending.
Not even
as
close.
we found out. But that was a really, really fascinating sequence of events there.
That was like, as we were watching that, I was like, this is like the single play of the season, and then Hump came through and just destroyed everything. But it was cool while it was happening.
And Hump had a good game. He had 8 points and 14 rebounds. He played 32 minutes. He started over Nene, which
That's what he does.
worked out, I think, relatively well for the Wizards. That was a good matchup.
That's a Hump stat line right there. I mean, the guy's a double-double machine. I know when you get a double-double tonight, but 2 points away. I thought he was really underrated with the Celtics here. If they were in a different position, in their current rebuilding, I think they would have brought him back. I think they really liked him, but it just wasn't the right time for him here. But I enjoyed his time here.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't quite get the response that Pierce got, but
I was waiting for that tribute.
Hump returned to the Garden tonight.
Yeah, the funny thing is you're talking about the position the Celtics are in relative to the NBA. We're going to get to this in the second part, but they're now 1 game out of the playoffs as of this recording.
If the playoffs were to start today, there would be 1 game out. Yeah.
It's true.
Should be
The
extremely,
playoffs don't start
extremely
today.
short season.
Yeah, they don't start today, and there's a reason for that. But it's really fascinating to think that the Celtics are supposed to be this really team that couldn't hold on to good veteran players because they wanted to go contribute somewhere else. But they've got guys that are playing solid basketball, and this is a guy that we're going to talk more about over the course of the year. But I mean, Rondo he's playing phenomenally right now.
Yeah.
In the last game, he had a really big game against the Lakers before. We were talking about how he kind of didn't look like himself for a little while, but these last 2 games, he's really gotten back to being himself, even if he's not shooting very well. He's getting aggressive. He's making a lot of phenomenal plays, Jimmy.
I mean, the 13 rebounds stand out to me. The 11 assists, that's the type of numbers that we're used to seeing Rondo get back when he was 100%. 5 for 17, I mean, the shot, he's still shooting the ball a ton, which I'm like mixed feelings about. I like the aggressiveness out of him, but you like to see a few more of those shots go down.
Yeah, I mean, I said after Friday night's game against the Lakers, he went 6 for 17. I said I like the shots. It means he's being aggressive. The team's playing better when he's shooting. He does one worse this afternoon, goes 5 for 17. But I'll say again, I like it. He's shooting. He's aggressive. The team won the 2 games. So, until Rondo has a poor shooting night like this and they lose, I'm going to say keep shooting the ball.
Yeah.
All right, well, when we come back for part 2, we'll talk about the other guy shooting the ball a lot, Jeff Green. And we will talk about the fact that we brought up a few times, they are almost in the playoffs. And we got to reevaluate how we're talking about this team. So before we go, don't forget to like the Garden Report on Facebook, to download the show on iTunes, and same thing with the CLNS Radio postgame show, and to even go to the CLNS Radio podcast page and download the latest episode of Celtics Beat, where they talk to Mark Heisler and Mike Prada of SB Nation about the state of the Lakers. And a really fascinating one was that the Lakers apparently are ready to spend, and Rondo is certainly going to be one of their targets. So let's hear about more. We'll hear about that more. Come back, part 2, the Garden Report.
He's one of my favorite guys. He's one of my favorite leaders I've ever played with. And, he's a great role model. I'm sure the older he gets, the more knowledge he has for a young guy like John Wall and Bradley Beal.
Some of the guys in the other locker room were saying he gives them confidence. Is that the type of guy he is? What does he do that would give someone confidence?
He's a great talker. He does it. He's very positive on the court. He's demanding. He's going to yell at you. He might get on you, but it's all for the betterment of yourself and the team. Well, it's not necessarily knowing this game. I just knew the shot clock. I knew he had to get a shot up, and when I closed out to him, it was around 2 or 3 seconds on the shot clock. I didn't go for his pump fake, so I'm used to those in practice. And, it could have easily been a foul if I slapped his hand, but I was able to get my hand on the ball.
Did you think his shot was going down?
No, I knew it was off. Well, I was hoping it was off.